Right, we're going.
The beginning, mate.
It is the beginning. It's been a long time coming.
We don't even want to tell them how we got here, how long it took to get here. But yeah, this one's emotional. So this will be like the landmark, I'm guessing, and you guys are going to help us, or you're going to join us on the journey of us finding our name for this podcast.
Yeah, many trials and tribulations to get here. But I suppose now we've started, but we should probably start at the beginning.
At the beginning.
So, should we tell everyone the story of how we met and became friends, and maybe the conversation's just going to go from there, I reckon?
Yeah. So we'll jump in. So we were actually arch nemesis. We actually hated each other. Well, I hated Sam. Sam didn't even know that I hated him until I was like, I don't know, maybe like 25, so maybe about 2 years ago. And so I just a fresh young man, just came from a High School Musical school concert. I actually sang. I was Troy. I was the main kid.
You were the main kid.
And I cut to the induction day at. Can we say where we shouldn't really say that, should we? Like where we actually.
Which school? Places
and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll leave it at. Well, yeah, had an induction day at like secondary school, and I knew no one, absolutely no one, and I actually forgot my name. We were doing that whole Kilele thing.
Yeah. Well, you got to explain the Kilele thing.
So it was a way of like people welcoming themselves or like introducing themselves. So it would literally just be the chant, which would be like Kilele, Kilele.
It's based on like some tribal kind of tantric. Maybe not tantric, but yeah. Yeah.
So that would happen. So, you know, we came in with this whole Kilele, and then you'd say your name twice, so I'd say Naim, Kilele. And I clearly just found that way too hard to do. So I think I forgot my name and everyone laughed at me.
Yeah. And then there was the other girl, I won't name any names, but she literally just came round to her and she just bawled her eyes out crying.
I can't lie, I was a bastard. I just looked at her and I was just like, that's pathetic.
First impressions do last.
They do. I was just like, that was absolutely pathetic. So I was clearly just in a mindset of a boss, a terrible boss. But yeah, Sam, Kilele, this guy comes in, a whole different energy, and I hated him for it. So yeah,
take it away. So at the time, I suppose I grew up listening to a lot of rock music and stuff like that, and I looked around the room, I saw my audience, and I made the wrong call, thinking that this was going to score me some brownie points. But okay, so Kilele, Sam, Kilele.
I hate it now just as much as I hated it then. But yeah, so he did that, right? And I was just internally, because obviously, you know, I've got a mad poker face. Internally, I just shook my head and I was like, oh my god, who is this cretin? Who is this person who's going to cause me trouble? And yeah, it literally stopped there, because I think, what was it, we were in the lunch queue together and I was like, oh, it's that loud geezer again, and it was just safe. And then yeah, from there, well, we're where we are now, from that second interaction. So if you take anything away from today, don't judge people on their first impressions. Take note of them, but people can always surprise you.
Yeah.
Always. Like, yeah,
do I surprise you every time you see me, or do you have to say?
Nah.
I'm not a very surprising kind of guy. I'm not a creature of habit.
Nah, but that's the thing. I think, you know, even because we've been trying all these different ideas and we've been trying to think of like what we could call this podcast, and obviously like that Kilele thing is the thing that kind of draws us together quite a lot. But you know, for certain reasons, it's used by other places, and we don't really want to use that. I think I like, in my head, when I think of the idea of our friendship, I think if people to look at us, they'd be like, how like, what's the story? How are these guys friends? They just look so different, probably are into like far different things. And I think we're just connected by like vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, you're almost like a family member. You're like an extended, you know, I come in and I say like to your mum and dad, like, oh, what's going on? What's going on, mum? What's going on, dad? Like, that's real. Like, that's that family vibe that I get. And I was thinking, like, in terms of things that I was going in on my head, it was like, oh, okay, cool. So what kind of stuff do we enjoy? And we enjoy music together. And what's something that I enjoy and you enjoy? And I was like, oh, okay, like A Tribe Called Quest or something like that.
Okay.
And I was thinking kind of on the lines of, like, something to do with, I don't know, I want to put, like, tribe in because it's kind of like a family thing.
Okay.
and then I want to have the whole inclusion of vibes, but I don't want it to be like a Tribe Called Vibes like podcast.
A vibe called breasts. I'm on that vibe.
But I think we could build off of that, because I
Yeah.
think a Tribe Called Quest is like they're so cool. Do you know what I mean? It's so cool, and I think if people were to able to watch our kind of like relationship outside this, it's like it's very much based on just cool vibes, and that's how I define us.
A vibe called smoking sex. A podcast called Kilele. We're gonna have to.
We'll tweak it. We'll definitely tweak it. But
It's a work in progress. Yeah.
But I definitely think like I want to go down that kind of route, and that's my own personal one. I don't know what kind of thoughts you've had on names, but
I mean, you know me, I'm just going to come up with whatever I think's funny, to be honest. But I think the key is that, you do something that, like the classic story about Skepta calls himself Skepta, because when you search that word, that's the first thing, that's the only thing that's going to come up.
Yeah.
And that's why when I was typing in Kilele, Kilele podcast, it makes sense. But you search Kelele, which is like how I think it would be the more normal way to spell it. So many rhythms. There's already a podcast called the Kilele something podcast. So and I was like, we could spell it differently. So I came up with some mad spellings. And then there's ones you can search, and there's nothing there for you to find. But I don't know if it's the right way to go. So it's gonna be up for debate, I reckon.
Definitely.
I do like this idea though. A tribe called.
A Tribe Called.
Does it have to rhyme? Because this is my problem. This is why everybody finds me annoying at work, because I have to make things rhyme. Well, there has to be some kind of like, all those things you get taught in primary school in your English lessons or whatever. So you know, rhymes, alliteration. I want to build that in and use these techniques.
But do you know what? I think
catchy.
even looking at that whole thing that you used to do and we used to piss about with. Do you remember when we used to listen to like Tyler and stuff like that? And he'd have like Golf Wang and stuff like that. Like maybe we could even do something like
quad
that.
called Trest. Or
so just something different. Do you know what I mean? Something so stupid as that.
Lawsuits pending.
Yeah, or even something stupid like even flipping it around and just calling it like a vibe called Tribe or something. Do you know what I mean? Like we could actually just use and do stuff like that. Because we used to do that with Toast Gang, Ghost Tang.
We can't be dobbing me in. You know what I mean? Don't be snitching.
No one's snitching.
Yeah.
No one. Do you know what I mean? No one's snitching, man. You're a third party, bro. You're a third party.
I'm notorious in these streets. You get me? Hardcore street artist.
The infamous Toast Man.
Yeah.
Bread Man.
Well, yeah, man's been toasting for years.
That's it.
I reckon we could do it. A tribe called Toast. A tribe called. I don't know. I keep on trying to say something that reminds with Quest, but breast just keeps on popping to mind naturally.
Chest, rest, crest, zest. Oi.
I like the zest. Zest is a good word. I think we're kind of zesty conversation as well, don't they?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because a lot of people are going to be pulling a sour face after they watch the podcast.
No, that could. Yeah.
Another thing that I think that reminds me now, pulling a weird face and doing a weird voice. That's
this face.
one of the only couple of people in the whole world that can do it.
So many people struggle, bro.
Yeah.
I've done that face. People are like always laugh. They'll be like, "How'd you do that face?" I'm like, how can I explain to you how to use your face? Like, it's your face.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's weird.
It's very rare that I come across someone that can do it. It's like 1 in a million.
Yes.
The Grinch face. Zach Bullock can do it better than I can. I think he's just got the face for it though. You know? But it was just on that point. It was we used to watch a lot of Mighty Boosh.
Yeah, do you know what? I actually thought that as well. I can't.
And that was our humour. Like I can remember, a lot of our bonding was done over not only all the kind of stuff. Like you taught me a lot about different. Like you showed me loads of different music that I didn't listen to, like I don't know if it was you or Harvey that showed me Mighty Boosh. To be fair, one of you was definitely showing me.
It was probably Harvey, because pretty much like our story. The first time I saw Mighty Boosh, I actually hated it.
Oh, did you?
Genuinely, I was like, I'd heard loads of people talking about it, and I watched it. And I was like, this is actually whack. No, I was like, I don't get.
It's so funny though.
Yeah, I was like, I don't get any of this. Like, it's just bare weird, because I'd never been exposed to any humor like that. I was like, it just doesn't make sense to me. This isn't funny to me. And then I think it was like the day before Christmas or the day before Christmas Eve. I stayed up late and I was watching Mighty Boosh, and it was season 3, and it was like Eels, and it was The Spirit of Jazz.
Oh yeah.
And I was
Classics.
like, yeah, and I was like, mate, this is still weird. And literally, I just woke up the next day, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it all. And then my mum bought me the box set for Christmas, like 2 days after.
Oh really?
And I just absolutely.
It's one of those things
hammered.
that parents, when they hear one thing you like, all of a sudden it's your favourite.
I asked for it. I genuinely.
Oh,
we went to like, was it HMV or whatever? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still open. And we bought like the box set, like this special edition, whatever, cool. And I just spent like the whole day just absolutely hammering Mighty Boosh. And I think you fall into like this hole. It's like this rabbit hole. It's like when you like one episode, you're just you're there, boom.
Yeah.
It's like you have this breaking point, this tipping point, and once you go over that tipping point, you love it. And I was like, yeah, this is sick.
We like that. Like, I think the first time I watched it was at Centre Parks with my nan and granddad and my sister or something. And then obviously had my own bedroom or whatever, so for the first time in ages with a TV in it, so I'm like, yeah, I can watch what I want. 3 o'clock in the morning, Mighty Boosh is on BBC 3 or whatever it was, and I was just like, this is the weirdest thing ever, but I just loved it. And then I was mentioning it to some guy on the bus, and he bought in the DVDs for me and let me borrow them.
I remember.
Shout out James, can't remember your last name, but
Yeah, because I remember you having those DVDs, and I was like, oh, what's that? And you were like, oh, it's Mighty Boosh, and I think that's when I watched it, and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
really?
I was like, yeah.
Oh right, so it must have been me that showed you Mighty Boosh then.
Yeah.
I can't.
You put me on it, I think, just by like having those. Like you didn't say anything about it. You're just like, oh yeah, this, and I was like,
Fair.
okay, cool.
Yeah, now I remember it. Like for some reason, I've always like just had it in the back of my head that it was you that showed it to me or Harvey or something.
No, I saw the case. I think the artwork on the case was pretty sick, and I was like, oh, I thought it was like cartoons or something. So I was like, you know me, like I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I love cartoons, man.
Anime. It's not quite anime.
Yeah, no, but I do like cartoons. I like watching old like classic ones because they just remind it's all nostalgia and stuff. But it was you. I think you was the inspiration to watching it, and I was like, nah, this is just not the one, man. Not the one.
Yeah, but once you watch the Eels and you get that song stuck in your head, I think that's what it is.
Jazz, it was that one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vocalize your boy.
I'm gonna suck upon your head like a chopper chop.
Do you remember when we were in drama though, and we did that? It was me, you, and again, I'm probably not. I'm just gonna call him, for the sake of the podcast, Ragabeed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Of course I know Ragabeed.
Ragabeed. And everyone was sat around us in a circle, and then we had to sit in the middle, and everyone had to have their backs to us, and we had to kind of do like Little Pig, but we did it. I did the
Little
spirit.
Pig. What's Little Pig?
Like 3 pigs.
Oh, okay.
Is it 3? You know, with the wolf, is that?
Yeah.
Little pig,
And
let
then
me
you
in.
did the voice.
Yeah, and then I remember my voice was absolutely battered after that drama lesson, but everyone loved our stuff.
Yeah.
Because we just made it up as we were going along. He was like pretending to be the pig on that, and I was just like, little pig, let me in. I'm gonna turn you into a soy pork ball, little pig.
That's so funny.
And you two were just going. I was like, nah, if you don't let me in, little pig, I'm gonna run over your house in a tank or something, little pig. Let me in. It's just
man, he's bringing so many memories back.
So I think, on the lines of, like, the whole vibe, a tribe, and trying to put like that Boosh, like that Mighty Boosh thing into it, I think we could come up with some name there.
I think it's just whilst it's fresh in their mind, because we're talking about like our mutual love for weird humour, that obviously I'm just remembering that maybe it was me that showed you the Mighty Boosh, but one thing you definitely showed me, and it just goes to show you we're into these like weird this weird comedy where there's all these kind of almost catchphrases and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And like weird characters. You showed me Dave Chappelle for the first time.
Oh yeah,
who I'd say is probably my favourite stand-up comedian. Even to this day.
Yeah.
But that sketch with the Rick James thing in it.
Oh shit!
You showed me that, and I've for the last 15 years just been doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh my gosh! Oh, Rick James and Harvey put me on that actually.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Us three and Ragged Bleed, we were hot on all these little weird comedy things.
Oh, we might rename him Merlin actually. We'll call him Merlin.
Yeah. So for the sake of the podcast, Merlin and Ragged Bleed.
Yeah, Merlin.
The two boys.
Yeah, they were timeless. Yeah. So I don't know. So we've got Boosh, we've got a tribe, and I think we have to put something together now, mate.
A Boosh, a tribe called Boosh.
The mighty vibe.
The mighty tribe of Boosh. I don't know. We can't borrow too much, I suppose, but I do want to as you say, be inspired by these things that are kind of like
The mighty tribe called Vibe.
Let a friendship blossom from like a flower.
yeah.
I think we're on the right path there.
If we can't think of one by the end of this recording,
Yeah.
then we're gonna have to ask people to give us suggestions based
sure.
on
This
what we're saying now.
conversation, yeah, for sure.
But I don't even care what we call it because I'm just all there for the theme tune.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, that's it. So, like, guys, if we can't figure out something, just bear in mind the suggestions. Like, we're trying to make a tailored theme tune to go alongside our podcast name.
That's going to be the main thing. I think the reason why everyone's going to be coming back and wanting to listen to this every week or every episode is just for the theme tune. I mean, the conversation's always going to be tantalising. Obviously, we're very insightful people. You know what I'm saying? But
We can be, definitely. I think we'll take a rain check.
we're going to
on that
park
one, mate.
it. We're going to park it.
We're gonna We'll park that one.
We need to park it. Okay.
We'll park it.
I'm not going to be able to stop thinking of stuff though. This is
exactly the reason for this episode is it's us discussing and trying to figure out a name, and it may not even be like we conclude with having the name now, but
This
now
is like
you're
the
starting
pilot.
to think about it.
This is the pilot. We've had many obstacles to hop over today.
Yes. Creative juices aren't on a high, are
Yeah,
they?
no, they're not. After all that chicken meal, I'm feeling a little bloated. A tribe called
Leave it.
Chicken breast.
We'll come back to it.
Oh, okay.
A tribe called chicken breast. A tribe called chicken breast.
Well, so you might have seen me space out a few times throughout this, yeah. As we're having a conversation. A tribe called Quest, you said.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, we're on a quest for the vibes.
Yeah.
So why not a quest called Vibes?
I like it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Insert theme tune here. Wait, no, can you sing it? Come on, you need to bust a 1 2 sing song.
A quest called Vibes. You want me to sing
A tribe
that?
called Quest or a quest called Vibes, something like that.
What do you say? You can't call it
A quest called Vibes.
A quest called Vibes.
Or a quest for vibes or something like
A
that.
quest for vibes. A quest for vibes.
That's what we're on right now, isn't it? We're on a quest for the right vibes. The energy. The momentum.
I'll think about it.
We're talking about momentum. This is a momentous occasion where we're going to be picking the... I just realised, right, we've got the camera... So this is, as much as this is a work in progress, this podcast, right, we just kind of rushed to trying to get this thing sorted today because everything was going wrong. Yeah, we're bare off centre. Innit?
So where do I need to be?
I think you should be there.
Okay.
And then I need to kind of put the mic there. It was my fault because I actually set this up earlier.
That's all right, mate.
That's probably best. That's probably better, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we both need to be the same. Oh, this is how it's going to be popping from now on.
So we're going to be in this.
And I've made a conscious decision, right? So low budget. We ain't got the cameras working. The high budget cameras did not fare well today.
Yeah, it just didn't. It didn't do what it needed to do.
And I felt like, so a lot of podcasts have 2 microphones and then they'll have one guy pan to the left and the other person pan to the right. And I thought, that's annoying when you're listening in your AirPods.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going, everything should be coming out both headphones. But
So we're riding solo.
kind of, yeah.
Riding solo.
But I'm welcoming any feedback. Well, I just spoke over the singing. Come on. Hit me one more time.
I was trying to think of this. I'm trying to think of how to sing a quest called Vibes. And I'm not even going to say that word.
Just be a quest called Vibes. What do they call it? Continuity, where, like, you know, when someone's like in one shot they've got the thing in their hand, and then the next shot they've got the thing in their hand. Yeah. When I do all this editing and then we're moving back and forth, this is going to be jokes.
It'll be like when you cut to here, I'll be in your chair, then you can cut, and then you'll be in my chair.
Wait, should we just do that? Let's
just.
Yeah.
A quest called Vibes.
Yeah. So anyway, there's definitely just no editing involved in this thing, but yeah, sing a quest called Vibes for me.
I'm on the spot, mate.
Do I need to give you the key that you're in?
It doesn't seem very singable for me.
Singable?
You know, like, I don't know. You know, like, when
just a quest called Vibes.
A quest called Vibes.
A quest called Vibes.
It's just a quest called Vibes. It's not singable.
It's not.
I think it's more
Is
rappy.
it not rolling off the tongue though?
I think
That's
it's
my
more.
problem.
I think it's more rappy.
Yeah, but it should be singable.
It's not singable.
Do you like that word? Do
Huh?
you find that word offensive?
What? See you next Tuesday?
Yeah.
No, don't bother me. I find it well funny, but
Yeah. Is that a good name for the podcast?
what? See you next Tuesday?
Yeah. I looked up some stats, right? I actually looked up some stats when's best to release a podcast, and it says 5 a.m. on Tuesdays is the best time to release a podcast.
Oh, for real?
Why don't we call it the See You Next Tuesday podcast? That would be so funny. That would be so funny. Is that already a thing? You need to look this up before I get pinned to this now, because I ain't gonna. You can shut me down now if you find it is. It's probably gonna just pretend that it's already a thing.
What mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's already a thing. Don't worry about it. Forget that one quick.
I think that's a joke. Let me find it.
Oh, if that's not a thing, that's. See, I knew if that isn't a thing and we go in it rolling on that, it's fate.
So would we say it like
Just C
C
like no
U.
not C. Let's call it SEEU. So it's not too. You get what I'm saying?
what? So like central C, like C.
No, SEE.
Oh, I see
And then
what,
YOU,
okay.
so literally spelled correctly. But obviously, people that know will know. People will get the reference. We're going to level the podcast up though, whilst we're checking what we're going to call it. This is a work in progress. We had a better camera, wasn't working for whatever reason.
Oh, I actually think it may be.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Where do they live? Because I'm going to go around there now and kick their heads in.
It's a couple.
No way! I'm actually so vexed.
But then, is there another way that we could spell it? Like,
Yeah, but you can't just completely. Are they getting a lot of views?
I don't know.
They're on Apple and that.
But couldn't we just
Katie
put?
Thompson, I'm gonna beat her up. Oh my god, she's such a loser. I'm gonna beat her up so bad. Is she American?
Probably.
Typical.
But could we not do this then? Look, could we not still
I'm
say
vexed.
see you next Tuesday? But it's
Yeah, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? Is it popular? That's my first question. Because if she's like a beginner, then we could just beat her to the punch. Well, she's beaten us to the punch already, but is it getting hundreds?
So I was thinking this, like change it like that.
Yeah. But there's already somebody called that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, we can't be doing that because that's such lame.
What about see you next Thursday?
We could, but that's not the same, is it? Some people won't get the reference. That'll be. Oh, such a shame.
How about we abbreviate it differently, so we know what it means? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, well, I'm gonna do a bit of research on this and stuff because I think based on what we spoke about today, there's a few things rolling, but that would have been so brilliant.
What, see you next Tuesday.
It's such a shame
See
because
you-
I reckon that ours is going to be better than theirs, and they're going to end up having to quit because they just realise how much better ours is anyway. But if they've taken all the Instagram handles and stuff, then what are we going to do? You know what I mean? We could just get them. We could just say that they're violating terms of service and getting blocked or something. I don't know. That's such a shame. I'm actually a bit.
Shall we park this one?
I'm disheartened. Yeah, we should probably park it, shouldn't we?
Let's park that one.
Okay. Anyway, I'm a bit surprised that we didn't manage to finalise a name, but I mean we did. It's just everybody else got there about fucking 2 years before. Annoyingly, but we will find a name. By the time this goes out, the name needs to be decided because we need the theme tune.
The quest for a name.
The quest for a
No, that's not the podcast. I'm just saying.
the quest for a name podcast. It's gonna be so annoying. Every time I come up with a good idea, someone else has had it 5 fucking years before I
It should
did.
just be called What's Our Name? The What's Our
Yeah.
Name podcast.
I bet somebody's already got a podcast called that.
The What's Our Name?
There's going to be a podcast called the podcast with no name, the unnamed podcast, the slightly below average podcast. That's a good one because I think this is that's kind of what this is.
The What's Our Name podcast.
The unnamed podcast.
Mate, there's not a podcast.
Yeah,
called
well, it's
that.
a shit name. That's why.
That's it.
We'll come up with a name. We've got. I reckon when I'm going back and editing this, it's gonna spring to mind, and I'm gonna have to come up with a theme tune. But if not, we're kind of screwed. So maybe I spoke too soon. I'll edit that part out, and I'll just insert this in there for now.
We got tangents and trivia. We got tangents. Naim and Sammy be on TNT.
Anyway, I would do the whole call out your Twitter and all that shit, but I don't use that shit, so fuck it. I'll just add it on post production. There's gonna be a lot of post production. Let's just put it that way to make this shit even slightly bearable.